Let's take a look at the rubric. The first part of it, it says the project uses line variation throughout. Project uses line variation throughout. Both main images and the background contain various shapes and designs that are organic and geometric. Okay, so there's two things that I have to explain to you there. The first thing I have to explain is line variation, and the second thing I have to explain to you is what organic and geometric shapes are. Organic and geometric shapes, you probably went over that in kindergarten or first grade. But for those of you who might need a refresher, I'm going to go over that right now. There's a lot bigger of a definition of this, but here is the basics. I like to think of organic shapes as more curved and not exactly a defined shape. Like, you can't call that a shape. They can even have pointed edges. They can have straight edges as well. But most of the time, geometric shapes are made up of curves. All right. Now, the second one is a geometric shape are usually the ones that you know, like square, rectangle, triangle, pentagon. Those are more geometric shapes. So a more geometric shape is that. That's a geometric shape. It's got more angled edges, straight lines, that type of thing. Now, can you have a crazy geometric shape? Yeah, as long as it's made up of like sharp corners and straight lines throughout, usually that's going to be considered a geometric shape. So that would be, even though that's not really a named shape, I would say that's a geometric shape because it's got sharp corners and it's made up of mostly straight lines. So geometric and organic. Now, if you look at it, I want your person and the hair to be made up of geometric shapes. So I've got a lot of waved edges. I've got a lot of movement and curves inside here. This is mostly made up of organic. Whereas in the background, I did a lot more straight lines. So that would be more geometric. So I'm looking for organic and geometric. The second thing it says to look for is line variation. You can see the line variation here in the sense that there's thicker lines and then it gets to thinner lines. And then there's thick, and like inside of one line, it can get thick and thin. So I've got thinner lines here, thicker lines here. So if I'm going to make this shape have line variation, I would just come back in and I'm going to thicken up some of the line, and then it's going to go nice and thin right here. And then maybe here I'll make it thick again. Okay, so that has line variation to it. You can see the difference between, this part right here that doesn't have very much, and now what happens when I add it. So you can see line variation is places where it's thicker and thinner. So I'm looking up here, I do see some line variation, like it goes kind of medium to thin to thick. All right. The next thing I'm grading you on, layout. The project has a clearly identified background with a face near the bottom and 3 or more sections of crazy hair. So if you look at the thick lines, I've got 1, 2, 3. You need at least 3 sections, identifiable sections of the crazy hair, and you also need a face near the bottom. The layout is probably the easiest part. Now for the filling part of it. Project is filled with a combination of marker, oil pastels, and watercolor that is neat, easily viewed, and shows a good understanding of the media. The media you are using is marker, oil pastels, and water. What you're doing is the thinner, you're going to be making lines with marker, then you're going to be coming in with oil pastels and making your design. And then you're going to be filling in the white areas with watercolor. So I'm not only grading you that you did all that, but I'm also grading you on, is it neat? Does it show that you understand it? The last one is the principles of design. You should have watched a previous video that had principles of design on it. If not, they are listed right here, and you can read each one of them. You could take a look and see which ones you want to use. You need at least 4 of them. They're also listed as part of this project. If you want to pull them up, they should also be attached onto the bottom of the rubric. So you need to use at least 4 principles of design, and they are easily identified. You used at least, so if you need at least 4 of them to have it be an A. 3 of them would be a B. 3 of them would be a C, but I can't see them very well. So I need 4 different principles of design, and I need them easily identifiable. So let's just look at a few of them that I used in this one. I used movement. So I'm like bending and moving my my stuff to make it go in and out. I used proportion in the sense that I have some of these dots, like the dots here, they get smaller and bigger, which is also showing a change in it, a gradation. I used pattern, repetition. I used unity in the sense that all the things here are made in blue. All the things here are warm colors. All right, the background's all done in greens. Okay, so I showed unity in that one. There are obviously different ways that you could do it. You don't have to use the ones I did, but I want to see that you are using at least 4 of the principles of design in this project. So this is the final product. Now you're going to go on to the next video that's going to show you how we got to this point, step by step. Again, if you think you can draw a face on the bottom, you don't have to. You can skip that part of it, but the rest of it, you're going to need to watch the videos. All right? Good luck to you. If you have any questions, come on up and ask me. And always remember that you need to return the permanent markers to me. Don't leave the class with them. That's it.